Again, Joshua Fernelli, thank you for suggesting. Again, this deck features my collection of Nicol Bolas cards. I love my dragons. I love my dragons. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by, watching my channel. Hopefully I made you smile. Peace! Welcome back, everybody, to my channel, MTG Mythic Hunter. Thank you for stopping by. Today I have something special for you. As you can see, I have a Nicol Bolas. We have a deck review. This is my Dragon deck that I use. These are the Nicol Bolas cards that I have for said deck. The Ravager into the Arisen. It's a sick card. I love playing this one. And get him back in the sleeve there. The Deceiver. Nice foil. God Pharaoh. Dragon God. Has all loyalty abilities of all other planeswalkers on the battlefield. So this one, if I have more than one Nicol Bolas or other planeswalkers, and there's other planeswalkers in there, it can be pretty fun, as you can imagine. Old Edbeard Nicol Bolas. Even older Edbeard Nicol Bolas. They are the same dragon. It is the same card, just different sets. This one sits in my binder. This one will probably go in the binder too. And then I have a promo Dragon God. This one sits in my binder. So, I did pick up 3 of these very recently. Because I have another deck, Dragon deck. I have another, this one is Red Direct Burn, which gets really stupid lethal. And then I have more dragon tokens, but they're just not with me. But I really like the art on this one. I have the gold foil dragon. I have a Card Kingdom dragon token. I have a 6/6 dragon token. I have a 5/5 dragon token. I have another 5/5 dragon token. And then, I'm not sure, but I am half tempted to put the next 3 cards in this deck also. Chain Veil, foil M15, nice little spicy card there. Smothering Tide, just because it would be fun. And a Conda's Banner, because, well, there's a few legendary creatures, and it attaches to a legendary creature. And creatures that share a color get +1/+1. Creatures that share a creature type with equipped creature get +1/+1. Who wouldn't want to give some dragons some buff abilities? That's kind of cool. So, I don't know. Let me know if it's worth it. Now, I'm just going to pick up a few of these cards and go through them. I do have all of these, this land cycle, just because it is really useful. Comes in with 2 charge counters. Remove a charge counter, add 1 mana of any color to your pool. Really useful in a multicolor deck. That's why I use it. What can I say? It's a full art. All of my basics in this deck are full art. Fountain of Renewal. Who doesn't like life gain? Crucible of the Spirit Dragon. For 1 tap, put a storage counter on Crucible Spirit Dragon. Remove X counters. Add X mana in any combination of colors to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast dragons or activate abilities of dragons. So, it's in a dragon deck. Yeah. Ugin. In its glorious full art lusciousness. Look at that sexy card. Deals 3 damage to any target +2. And then -X exile converted mana cost card with X that's 1 or more colors. -10, you gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, put up to 7 permanents from your hand onto the battlefield. That's nice. Pillar of Origins. Choose a creature type, add 1 mana any color to your pool. Spend this mana to cast creature spell of chosen type. Really useful. I had to come up with cool ways to get mana. A Praetor's Council. Just because, well, this is a fun card to play. Vesuva, foil. Odawara. Corvold, Fey Cursed King, flying. When Fey Cursed King enters the battlefield or attacks, sacrifice another permanent. When you sacrifice a permanent, put a +1 counter on here. That's nice. Sundown Pass. Kura, Boundless Sky, flying, Death Touch. Can't go wrong with that. When it dies, choose 1, search your library for up to 3 lands. That could be useful. Create an XX green spirit token where X is the number of lands you control. Again, also very useful. And this is a custom art altar. I do have all 5 of them. The artist is Carl Schwartz. Storm Carved Coast. Broodmate Dragon. Create a 4/4 creature dragon token when it comes into the battlefield. A forest. Tyrant's Familiar with Lieutenant. As long as you control your commander, Tyrant's Familiar gets +2/+2 and has, whenever Tyrant's Familiar attacks, deals 7 damage to target defending creature player controls. That's nice. Oh, I never did mention my commander is the Dragon with Eminence. Reduces dragon spells by 2, whether it's in the command zone or on the battlefield. That's why I love it. Temple of the Dragon Queen. This is a useful card for dragons. Draco. Again, basic land synergy, reduces cost, flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, unless you pay 10, sacrifice him. But for each basic land, that cost is reduced. So, if I already have my basic lands out, I only have to pay 6 to get him out. I don't have to worry about his upkeep cost. This is a 9/9 time spiral list card. This was a sexy, sexy card to pull. Dragon Lord Atarka. It's a mythic. Flying trample. When it enters battlefield, deals 5 damage. As you choose among any number of creatures, planeswalkers, or opponents. That's nice. Indafa Triome. Overgrown Farmland. Shattered Sanctum. Foiled Karn's Bastion. Because proliferate. It's very useful with planeswalkers. And it's sexy foil. Shipwreck Marsh. Foil. Ignoble Retro Hierarch. Foil. I'm gonna push that pile off to the side, grab my next stack. Sunscorcher Regent. It's about a $10 dragon still. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, put a +1 counter on Sunscorch Regent, and you gain a life. That's useful in a multiplayer game. Deathcap Glade. Gaia's Anthem. Again, I'm buffing up my dragons. Why? Because it's funny. As I said, I have other planeswalkers. Chandra, Torch of Defiance. Exile top card of your library. You may cast that card. If you don't, I'm going to deal damage to you. Or, I can +1 and add 2 red to my mana pool. I can -3 and deal 4 damage to each creature. -7. You get an emblem with, whenever you cast a spell, this emblem deals 5 damage. That is fun. Foiled Scourge of Vulcus. Because he will cause direct damage for every dragon you have on the battlefield when you cast another dragon. This is a fun card to break. Trust me. Dragonstorm, Sarkahn the Unbroken. Anytime you can get multiple dragons out, this is the first one I put out because guess what? You're dead. Ao the Dawnsky. Niv Mizzet. Firemind. Interplanar Bacon. Bacon. Planeswalker. You gain 1 life. And I do have a few planeswalkers. Vivian's Invocation. This is a nice card. Savai Triome. Dragon's Horde. Whenever a dragon enters the battlefield, put a gold counter on Dragon's Horde. Remove a gold counter, draw a card. Add 1 mana of any color. Again, 5-color dragon deck. Any color, this is useful. Takanuma, Abandoned Mire. With Channel. Return creature or planeswalker from graveyard to hand. Costs 1 less to activate for each legendary creature you control. So, this could be useful. foil Urza's Mine. And I have the others so that I can get the +2 wastes instead. Again, dragons are expensive. Haunted Ridge. Atushi. Flying Trample. When it dies, choose one. Exile top 2 cards. Until end of turn, you may play those cards. Or create 3 treasure tokens. Yummy. Haven of the Spirit Dragon. Add 1 mana any color to your mana pool. Spend this to cast dragons. Sacrifice. Return Ugin Planeswalker from graveyard to hand. Well, I have the Planeswalker, so I can fetch him from my graveyard with this card. Here's that shiny forest. Niv-Mizzet Draco Genius. The Vivid Meadow. Busted Planeswalker. Sarkahn Dragon Soul. Deals 1 damage to each opponent, each creature for +2. -3. Deals 4 damage to target player or Planeswalker. -9. That is my target. Always. Search your library for any number of dragon creature cards. Put them onto the battlefield and shuffle your library. With Scourge of Volkis and enough dragons, like I said, people will die. Niv-Mizzet Reborn. Enters the battlefield, reveal top 10s of your library for each color pair. Choose a card that's exactly those colors. Yada yada yada. Put the chosen cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library. That's fun. A Ramos Dragon Engine. Foil etched. Whenever you cast a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Ramos for each of that spell's color. Remove 5 +1 counters from Ramos and add 10 mana, 2 of each color. Activate only once each turn. In a 5-color dragon deck, this is fun to pop off. Fiery Emancipation. Because we've seen a lot of direct damage already. Triple that damage instead. That is why. I know it's expensive, but I don't care. A lot of the stuff is. And it does function. Junji dies, choose 1, discard 2 cards, lose 2 life, put target non-dragon creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under my control, and I lose 2 life. Oh well. Growing Rights of Illitimok. When Growing Rights of Illitimok enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put it in your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 4 or more creatures, transform. Cradle of the Sun. Tap, add to your mana pool. Tap, add to your mana pool for each creature you control. Hey, that's useful and fun. Alright, 18 minutes. But I got a Chiari, Swirling Sky. When he dies, choose 1. Return any number of target non-land permanents with total mana value 6 or less to their owner's hands. Or mill 6 cards and return up to 2 instant or sorcery cards from your graveyard to your hand. That's the one thing that this deck truly lacks, is an instant or a sorcery. There might be 3 total. It's all creatures, artifacts, planeswalkers. It still functions. If y'all want to tell me how to fix it, or what I need to do differently, I might Tech gets +0/+2 as long as you control a plains. Has flying as long as you control an island. Gets +2/+0 as long as you control a swamp. Has first strike as long as you control a mountain. And has trample as long as you control a forest. This one is, again, a list card. Lovely old retro dragon. I have an ignoble hierarch. A Hellkite overlord. Sarkahn the Unbroken. Draw a card, then add 1 mana of any color to your pool. Put a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying onto the battlefield. Or, ultimate, search your library for any number of dragon creatures, put them on the battlefield, and shuffle your library. Damn near almost the same flippin' thing. Different names, so I do play with them at the same time on the battlefield. Be forewarned. Unbridled Growth. Add 1 mana any color to your mana pool. Sacrifice, draw a card. Karthus, Tyrant of Jund. DJ, you cannot have this card. Flying Haste. When it comes into play, gain control of all dragons, then untap all dragons. Other dragons you control have haste. Soul Ring. Star Compass. Who wouldn't want to regenerate your dragons? You may spend mana as though it were any color. Add 5. Sure, this thing costs 7, but it's really useful. Miari's Wake. Again, tap land for mana, add 1 mana of any type that land produced. Creatures I control get +1/+1. Reliquary Tower. No maximum hand size. Drakuseth Foil. Deals 4 damage to any target, 3 damage to each of up to 2 other targets. He's flying 7/7. Nasty. Sagoth Triumph. That's all for my triumphs. I'm missing the other 2. Swamp. Amulet of Vigor. Because that's broken. Niv Mizzet Parun. When I draw a card, it deals 1 damage to any target. When a player casts an instant or sorcery, I draw a card. Herald's Horn. Plains. This is a proxy. Cold press foil. But it's cool. Busiju. Come on. Come on. Find the Busiju. There you go. There's the Busiju. Vivid Creek. Foil Tiamat. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for up to 5 dragon cards not named Tiamat that each have different names. Reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle. Mountain. Commander's Plate. Island. Vivid Marsh. Foil Manamorphos. There's a Power Plant. Hadana's Climb. Beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Then if that creature has 3 or more +1 counters on it, transform! Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. For 1, a forest, a blue, tap. Target creature you control gets flying. Dragons already have flying, so that's kind of pointless. But it gets +X/+X, where X is its power. So, very useful. Manamo, School of Water's Edge. Untap target legendary permanent. It is a list. Scion of Draco. Different than the other Draco. Spell costs 2 less for each basic land type. Comes down for 10, so he can only cost... So, he can get reduced down to all the way down to 2. Flying. Each creature you control has Vigilance if it's white. Hexproof if it's blue. Lifelink if it's black. First Strike if it's red. And Trample if it's green. So, multicolored dragons really benefit from this card. Sokuzan. Prosh. There's the Urza's Tower that completes the Urza cycle that I need. Coat of Arms. Because dragons. Each creature gets +1/+1 for each other creature in play that shares a creature type with it. That could be ridiculous. Who wants to get hit with a 15/15 dragon? Plains. Iganjo. Spectator Seating. Nylea's Presence. Enchanted Land is every basic land type in addition to its other types. So, that's useful when you need to come up with a spare color to cast a dragon. A Resonator. Copy triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. This can get busted. And another sarkahn. You may discard a card if you do draw a card. Add 2 mana in any combination. Spend this only to cast dragons. Or, -7, create 4 5/5 red dragon creature tokens with flying. So, guys. Yes. That's my EDH deck. What do you think? Let me know. What should I sub out? What should I change? Is it too broken?